everybody, how's it going? It's Sortigrid14 here, welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're going to be reacting to Nostalgia Critic's newest video, his review of the classic Little Mermaid. Now I'm guessing this is in honor of the newer Little Mermaid, and how awful it's going to be, because yes, I agree, it's going to be awful. There's nothing I can really add to it, I just know it's going to be bad. I guess, if anything specific for me, it's mainly Sebastian, Scuttle, and Flounder. All of them are just realistic animals, and I don't like that. So, I mean, it's like it's a design choice. I don't like it. I mean, that's kind of one of the smaller things to point out, but it bothers me enough to I don't want to see it. Anyways, everything else is generally fine, but enough about that. We're going to be getting into this. Let's see if this Doug really thinks this is a timeless classic, like the most of us do, and let's see what he has to nitpick about it. Because I can think of a few things, but I still loved this movie as a kid. So, and I mean, I still love it now, but I've loved it especially as a kid, is what I meant. Anyways, with that being said, let's get on with the reaction in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Right. Making sure. Yep, we're good. Okay, stop. 3. Alright, beginning reaction in 3, 2, 1. Ah, love this theme. Yep, with Doug Walker, Malcolm Ray. I still love this, like, fighter setup sort of thing. Tamara Chambers. Yep, Walker, Heather Izu, Walter Banowski, Jim. And I couldn't get everybody else, I'm sorry. Point is, they're all great people and make amazing videos, and I can't wait to get into this one. Hey, Doug.
It's interesting.
What is it?
Apparently we have a special guest today.
Oh! Yeah, I forgot.
From the Secret Name Review.
Who?
Dang.
He tried to eat us, remember?
Oh.
It's oddly not specific.
It doesn't matter. We're not gonna let you dine on us again, Philo.
Oh, that's a studio Philo Barnhart. I'm a house Philo Barnhart.
What?
does a house Philo Barnhart do?
Suck our blood.
Or build furniture from our bones.
No, I draw pictures of puppies.
Oh.
I want a drawing of a puppy.
We shall all have drawings of puppies.
Wait, it's a trick. Remember, he hissed at us earlier.
Well, that's how Philos say hello.
Getting
What?
stuff on my face.
There are weirder traditions.
I don't think there are.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe this one's different.
I guess.
I don't know. Sorry, I haven't watched that.
Design Ariel?
All right,
Yeah.
I'll allow it because it's reviewingly convenient. But if
Reviewingly convenient.
Does that include the wall?
What?
I really don't know. I'm here, guys.
No, we're doing this. He already
Sorry,
put
I
his
don't know. You see,
There are rules, man.
Okay, fine. He can stay.
Alright. Put a muzzle on him or
You
something.
better have room for more drawings of puppies.
I do.
I always have room for that.
Yeah, I'll take one. Sure. Alright, let's do it.
With it almost being 35 years since the release of the original and the live-action remake having us all say, okay, give it a chance, but it's
Oh, wait, I forgot it comes out
It only makes
today, I
sense to
think.
talk about the film that started the Disney Renaissance. Little Mermaid came out when Disney was in a real rough bind.
Right.
Films taking increasingly longer to make and getting very little box office return.
Yeah, the Black
With
Cauldron.
management taking over, it was said that Disney would have a new anime film of high quality every year. This
Right.
is unlikely, but with The Little Mermaid being both an artistic and box office darling, maybe it wasn't so far-fetched. Audiences were blown away by the music, animation, and updated storytelling of the traditional Disney formula.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, it's over 30 years later and cinema does continue to change. Is it still as timeless as when it first came out? We all have nostalgia,
Let's see.
but does it objectively work on its own, even if you didn't grow up with it? Well, we're
That
gonna
is a
take
good point.
closer look. And helping me out like in the past is one of the film's animators, Philo Barnhart. Aha! I knew it! I knew you
What
were
the
trying to
heck?
beat us!
Ah, thanks for holding on to my prop hand while I tie my shoe, Philo.
No problem.
You just walk around with a prop hand.
Yeah.
Why?
There. This is The Little Mermaid.
I guess. Alright.
Avast! Early CGI off the port bow! Weirdly doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, it looks pretty
After all,
fine.
Beauty and the Beast was the first 2D movie to use CG, but Disney did use it a couple times in the past.
Yeah.
The difference is they didn't always know if it was going to render correctly, so they always kept it half hidden just in case.
Yeah.
Even Beauty and the Beast had a backup plan to have the ballroom hidden with just a spotlight on them in case it didn't render.
Ah.
Weird.
That's actually a good plan, and it works pretty well.
The wind blowing in your face.
Oh, it's a beautiful day to Aladdin. Hey, why aren't you all Aladdining? That's better.
What?
This is Prince Eric.
I get it.
For Daniel Barnes. Hell yeah, Greg Brady played royalty. Listening to rumors of mer people under the ocean.
Mer people.
Down in the depths of the ocean they live.
And they're white!
Oh, and there goes your fish.
Jesus are always white! Yeah, take in that air. Underwater. Yeah, how's this work?
He's a cartoon fish. The joke is he's breathing underwater.
Their palace of dicks were King Triton lives.
Yeah.
Mars.
Right, the old
I did
marking.
not know he voiced him all.
What's actually kind of funny is that my mother actually had a copy of this, which had the dick-like picture on it. Sadly, she couldn't find it anymore, but it was interesting that that was the thing, because I kind of noticed that, but my mind didn't go there at the time, but I think it's kind of funny that we actually had one of those, but sadly, now it's lost forever to us. Oh well.
These years, and I half expect him to be showing up to a production of Springtime for you know who.
Really looking forward to this performance, Sebastian.
He's actually watching a concert of his daughters, orchestrated by Sebastian, voiced by Samuel E. Wright. One daughter seems to be missing, though.
Yep.
Ariel!
Okay.
Wow, that dude's eyes literally turned red.
Yeah,
T-800
like Bowser.
Skeleton under there? He's off exploring what's left of the pipe.
Now that's an interesting idea for a Terminator transformation. He just gets a fishtail.
Pirates franchise with her pal, Flounder.
Have you ever seen anything so wonderful in your entire life?
A fork?
We started working on her with Dan Haskett. When Keane joined us on designing the character, he suggested, "Hey Philo, are you familiar with the films of Miyazaki?" And I said, "I certainly am." He says,
Why are you talking so
"We got
quietly?"
Our own version of an anime girl character. I said, "Oh, that's intriguing, because they have the little traditional triangular face, with
Right.
a little pointy chin and the big eyes with
Yep.
like they have a million highlights in them."
Yeah.
And we took pity on the animators. We only got one highlight down
Yeah.
from like 3 that we started with. She was in part based on what we thought a Disney-fied anime girl would look like. I had a personal favorite that I used.
That's actually a really interesting. So Ariel and the other princesses are based off of a reformed anime design? Well then. Wonder what we're gonna take the bank with that. So Disney wouldn't be where it was if it wasn't for anime-inspired stuff. Does that mean everything Disney makes is an anime now? I'm thinking about this too much.
As my inspiration in that was French actress Emmanuelle Berthe. She has that long, elegant neck that I'm after. And the wide-spaced eyes, beautiful big eyes. We got the hair somewhat from Christy Brinkley and also
Alright.
from Christina Applegate. She used
Alright.
to have her hair styled out. It was like this little shelf. They initially wanted a blonde, but the rest of us said, no, let's do a redhead. We've never had a redhead star before. Plus, it was going to look great with the underwater colors.
You're not
Yeah.
getting cold fins now, are you?
Ariel is voiced by Jodie Benson, modeled after Alyssa Milano. But I'll be honest, I mostly see Sherry Stoner, who is the live-action reference.
Oh.
So much of what I remember about the character comes from her expressiveness and comedic reactions, which added a new dimension to her compared to past Disney women who were seen as more passive. Even former
Right.
Disney animators said they were amazed how expressive the character was, as when they animated women, they were encouraged to keep them more composed and proper.
Sherry did an amazing job. We are inventive as animators, but
Okay, so that's how you
we
got
study acting.
the animation. I did notice that
You need to
Ariel's
be an
more
actor.
expressive than
That's
normal.
something Don Bluth always told us. And here we had an improvisational actress that was very demure and about Ariel's size. Glenn used her quite a bit in his song sequence, Part of Your World, while she was on an office chair on wheels and they would spin her around.
Which in place
Just
like a
glided
rock
around,
underwater, that's
spin
really
the camera
good.
around her, and that all made it into the film.
I will say, though, it does make me kind of want to hear Slappy Squirrel's voice come out every once in a while.
Sounds like a standard cartoon plot to me.
Oh, now that would be funny. Like just
Remind me of a bad accident at Benny Hanna's. Can you believe I'm doing this for scale?
whoa. Yeah.
What a yutz.
The thing was terrifying back then.
They checked
Ah,
out a sequel
Scuttle.
named Scuttle,
I hear Buddy Hackett's very good in this.
who tries
Okay,
to
we
explain
get
what
it.
they found.
It's a dingle hopper to straighten their hair out. Humans go nuts over.
Scuttle is the cable news of information.
Alright.
Music.
Ariel remembers that she missed the concert, she does the meme thing, and we see she's being watched by the sea witch Ursula, played by Pat Carroll.
Right.
She may be the key to Triton's undoing.
Kids in the audience are like, why do I know what tentacle hentai is now?
Come on.
That was with Rob Minkoff, and we did a series of rough tests of her, and I went to ask the receptionist a question. I said, D.I., you're Pat Carroll. There she was sitting on the sofa, and she says, why, yes, I am. Who are you? I said, my name is Philo Barnard, and I'm doing you.
What?
I mean, I'm working on you. I mean, I'm working on Ursula. And she laughed and says,
Oh
you
my...
come over here and you tell
Dude,
me all about
phrasing.
it. She says, would it help you if I gave you my take on her? And I said, that would be a great gift. She says, well, don't laugh, but I see her as this great Shakespearean actress who retired into the sea for some reason. I said, okay. So just like in the song, it's body histrionics and not vocal. And she said, exactly.
Ariel talks to her father, who is not only angry she missed the concert, but also that she went to the surface.
Right.
Do you think I want to see my youngest daughter snared by some fish eater's hook?
I'm 16 years old.
I don't eat off hooks anymore. That was what? It was a long time ago.
You know, one thing that actually brings up, I guess, a smaller question is that. So he said fish eater, not fisherman. I always thought he said fisherman. So that. So wouldn't. So what do the mer people eat then? Do they not eat fish? Likely. Doesn't seem likely.
I have a challenge.
Oh, I don't want to watch this. No.
Every
Skip.
computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your
And go.
He forbids her from going to the human world and tells Sebastian to keep an eye on her. Sebastian follows her to Bed Bath & Below, where he discovers she's a
Bed Bath & Below.
Absolute hoarder for human things.
Right.
Yes, technically a hoarder is too. Yeah, I don't know why I phrased it that way.
You got thingamabobs? I got 20.
The girl who has everything.
And it probably goes without saying, but this entire song sequence is basic perfection.
Yeah.
Really, when people think of great moments in Disney animation, this is usually near the top of the list.
Yeah.
Jodie was having trouble getting into the mood for a part of your world. If anyone's ever tried to sing it out there, you know what I mean. It's a hard song to tackle. But she wanted to feel like she was Ariel in a dark cavern, so they lowered the lights in the studio.
I want to be where the people
Right, I actually should probably talk over this because that little bit may be enough to copyright, so...
Storyboarded it, rough animated it, had it cleaned up with his own crew. He actually developed carpal tunnel syndrome in his hand. I'm pretty sure
that's
Glenn has
horrible.
more hair on that sequence. Which almost didn't make it into the film. Jeffrey Katzenberg had attended a preview audience, saw some kids fidgeting during the song, and it was still mostly in storyboard form at that point. So he got nervous and said, it's out. It's out. And, a big battle began.
Well, I'm glad we wanted to keep it in, because it really is a good...
Jeffrey Katzenberg, and it stayed in. It's a tenet of a musical theater that there should be some kind of song of yearning, and that was Ariel's. Was
right.
Part of your world.
Though for some reason on Blu-ray they switched these two clips around. Watch.
What is it?
wish I could be part of that. Who wish I could be part of that.
Do you know why they did that? I don't know.
That's a little weird.
Oh my God!
Whoa!
I knew he would attack us!
No, I mean, oh
Camera, what the heck?
He is a princess!
And he drew me as a tiger.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, did you draw
That looks
one of
like...
me?
That looks like one of the, cat characters from the play Cats.
I certainly did.
What'd you draw him as? Whoa!
Wow.
I'm gonna hang mine in my bedroom.
Who are you? The guy from Notre Dame? Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. What was his name? But you know what I'm talking about. You know the scene.
Hang mine in my den.
I'm gonna throw up.
What is it surrounded by?
And is instantly drawn to it. She takes a closer look, gets hit by the dog, rubs the slobber off the wrong cheek, and goes little sit made on Eric.
He's very handsome, isn't he?
I don't know, he looks kind of hairy and slobbery to me.
Ugh.
That one?
Not until message.
Scuttle, are you attracted to dogs or something?
They reveal a statue of Eric, which I swear is a Trump NFT. And suddenly a storm hits.
Come on, dog. You didn't have to do that to that.
This is one of those sequences where the shots go by really fast, but if you pause certain moments, you really get some amazing composition.
Yeah.
We started going back to use some techniques that were tried and true. Multiplane shots for waves. Each one of those clusters of waves, they develop patterns, just like we have to develop formulas for drawing the characters.
Right.
Pieces coming off of other pieces of water. This was the last film that was painted by hand.
Yeah.
The very next one was digitally colored. one or two airbrush cells that flash over the main animation.
Ooh.
Sometimes it's even a white grease pencil right on the celluloid.
I see. Well, whatever it was, it worked great.
Is he dead?
You know, one curious thing I guess I could overpick about this, and this is a pretty funny picture to pause on, by the way. Right. Well, like, how did she get herself up there that far to it? I'm getting, yeah, just nitpicking something pointless, but yeah, this is really well animated. And I can definitely see why this was Disney's magnum opus at the time, if that's even the right term, but the one that gave them their big break. Yeah. But this part with Scuttles checking his foot for a heartbeat, that gets me every time.
Oh, I can't make out a heartbeat.
Yeah, who brought Dr. Tarantino here?
Come on.
Arrives, though, and here's Ariel singing just before he can get a good look at her.
I felt like he kind of did, though.
She had the most beautiful voice.
And she smelled like brown trout? Ariel obsesses over Eric, and I do mean obsesses, thinking she's discovered the love of her life.
He loves me not.
Mm.
He loves me. I knew it.
Flower science never lies.
Gotta see him.
Apparently water flower science either.
Scuttle knows where he lives.
I'll chain him to my bed, borrow that sledgehammer so I can
What
change
the-
his feet into proper fins. Yes.
Oh, good lord.
Time to bring up what many people consider either the best part of the movie or the worst part of the movie, the Little Mermaid herself.
Hmm.
I'll be honest, I really like the original Hans Christian Andersen story.
Okay.
Like Romeo and Juliet, you can kind of see it in two ways. You can see it as true love at first sight that ends in tragedy, or impulse attraction that's not allowed to play out, resulting in sacrifice.
True.
You could argue this film completely goes against the original idea of the story. But what it's transformed into is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Traditionally, Disney has always...
I mean, I have always agreed that I've seen Ariel's character be really strange later on, so, and I kind of always knew that. Like, I mean, later on when she, like, talks to Ursula, she seems really, like, stupid for the most, like, I mean, then, no, I don't, fine. But the point is, like, she seems to, like, really fall for that. But then again, she was kind of pushed over the edge after what Triton did to her grotto. But again, like, she does kind of obsess over him. Not really questioning, like, how could it be possible? I mean, at first, like, she tried to question it a little bit. Then maybe this would have worked a little better. But I understand. It still works pretty fine from what I see.
was brightened up these stories because actually they're pretty damn dark.
Yeah.
Pinocchio is one of the darkest.
Oh, yeah, that scene.
All of a sudden, and I went into John Musker and I said, "What are you going to do for the end?" I just realized. He says,
Yeah.
"Oh, don't worry, she lives. It's a Disney film. We can do that."
Yeah, but the villain gets a pretty nasty thing coming to her.
You know, giving you a relief every so often and making it hopeful.
What makes this one interesting, though, is that it's in between something like Snow White and something like Frozen.
Really?
Snow White is 100% emotional storytelling. Who is this guy? What is his name? Why do they just have an understanding she has to go with him now?
True.
There's no sense at all, but it's a fairy tale where logic takes a back seat and gives your emotions what they want to see.
Right.
It's closer to how a dream works rather than reality. And that is a very respectable form of art and storytelling.
You know, I never thought of it that way. That it's an emotionally focused, which draws away logic, which actually makes a lot more sense now that I've realized that.
Frozen has a lot more logic to it. You can't marry someone you just met, and comedy ensues.
Right.
Both work well because that's the environment they created. The dialogue from either of these movies wouldn't fit in the other. You couldn't hear Snow White saying,
Foot size doesn't matter.
but you
Yeah.
also couldn't hear Elsa saying,
Then scoop up the water and rub it on your face and go.
Little Mermaid
What?
clearly wants the simplicity and emotions of Snow White, but they evolved the character closer to something like Frozen.
Really?
Ultimately, we wanted to make a traditional, you know, animated musical fairy tale. We champing at the bit to do.
Yeah.
We did take a little of the past and put it in her character.
A lot of people yell at Ariel for being too man-obsessed, but at the time, she was seen as a pioneer because she was actually going after what she wanted.
The character is
Fair
active.
enough.
She's not just a little girl that things happen to. She's up there. She's going to go to the surface. She's going to find her prince. She's going to take care of business. And so you can really identify with it.
Bottom line, they did their job too well in making her feel more real.
True.
So instead of coming across as a wide-eyed innocent in a dreamlike world where instant romance is welcomed, she comes across a little bit more like a stalker.
Run away
Yeah.
with you? This is all so sudden.
Let's learn some Japanese today, kids.
Oh, Yandere Simulator.
And let's give credit, the prince isn't much better.
I'm gonna find that girl,
True.
and I'm gonna marry her.
Because she held my hand, and that means we get married, right? We get married?
Oh, I thought it was because she smelled like brown trout. Come on, get it together, Doug.
Thankfully, though, everything
That's what he's
else
after.
about her is so engaging and likable. She
Yeah.
doesn't have much of an arc, but
How
I
she's
realize
super
she
curious
has
about the real
other
world. Like, what's
people
that? What's that?
arcs of not seeing the surface world as evil. For the few flaws the character has, which you could connect to just the fairy tale landscape of the time, there's way too many things about her that reflect the excitement of following our passions despite the world telling us not to. Her supporting
True.
cast plays a big part in that too, as Sebastian sings the song that everybody loves, and yes, I acknowledge
Yeah.
it's good, but I always just saw as the song before Poor Unfortunate Souls. Sorry, villain songs are still the best in Disney flicks.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, I
You're
love
a
it.
college student? Keep watching. One of my
Well, I'm
least
not
favorite
anymore. I
things
graduated, so fudge off.
Under the sea.
Oh, wait, I can't. I cannot. I'm gonna turn that off. Sorry.
Our producer, Maureen Donnelly, found a wonderful dance
Sorry,
troupe in Los Angeles.
I had to be
Lula
copyright safe,
Washington
so...
Dance Theater. Very improvisational, just like the people we had acting out on a video for us. Where a lot
Right.
of the moves of those characters came from. Especially that turtle that's
Yeah, and like the fish that
And the
somehow
chorus-
move their tail fins like a pair of legs under a skirt. That's pretty interesting design too.
lines of the fish and everything.
So okay, I can't. I have to talk over this. Sorry. Yeah, that
Can I put
professional.
2023 Disney and 89 Disney in a room just to see what they talk about?
Dang. Okay, gotta talk over this.
I've got an urgent message from the Sea King.
Sebastian accidentally lets it slip that Ariel is in
Yeah.
love with a human, and he takes
I'll admit that was a pretty good scene too that I liked. How, like, again, like he thinks that Triton finds out and then accidentally slips it out himself. That's pretty funny. Like he's just like, "What about humans?" And then Sebastian's just like, "What do they say about humans?" Yoink. Also, my favorite part was when he goes like, "Okay, be focus." He goes, "Yes." It just goes really high pitched. It gets me every time. I love it.
Triton to her hiding spot, where Flounder brought the prince's statue.
Oh.
How the hell did he drag that there all by himself?
That's a good question.
Is it true you rescued
Does he have like a
human from
whale
drowning?
friend?
You don't even know him.
You don't either!
Exactly.
Triton destroys her collection with some really cool lighting effects, which completely tears Ariel apart.
Yep. But I mean, he makes a good point. She doesn't know him, period.
Dinner's at 5. Now to talk to your other sister about her report card. An A minus!
Oh! You know, Triton
seems
seems like the
trustworthy.
kind of guy to do that. Or kind of mermaid.
Something we could do, but there is something.
Why this scene so sums up the movie, we're gonna put it as the cover of the Nintendo game. No, really, they did that. Very random.
Ursula has great power.
Right.
I know the effects department was happy because we were trying to figure out a way to show underwater current. Short of animating hundreds more bubbles, we decided to have the hair long enough so that it would wave in the current.
That's really good.
Sea witch?
They say Ursula can help, so she agrees
Also, I
to
love
follow
that
them
their
to-
eyes
No,
were always
she's
a different
demon.
color on
She's
each
a
one.
monster.
Why don't you go tell my father? You're good at that.
In hindsight, yes, he probably should have done that.
Yeah.
Again, all this looks very inviting. This thing looks like it's shagging up with the tiger's head from Aladdin.
Yeah.
Come in, my child.
Ursula says she can turn Ariel human, but she has
that like
to
a
give
muscle?
up her voice and has only 3 days to win him over, or she'll
Yeah.
belong to her.
What's actually kind of interesting, I don't know if Doug's going to talk about this, but also this is a very funny picture for Ursula. But point is, in the original, I was told that she removes her tongue instead of just taking away her voice. So yeah, another dark moment in the original that is removed from here. But I don't know. I mean, again, perfectly understandable, but it's just a fun fact that I learned. Anyways, I probably will make this the thumbnail because I think it's that funny.
Life's full of tough choices, isn't it?
I've talked about Pat Carroll's amazing work in a previous video, so I won't repeat
He was in
myself.
Garfield
With
Christmas.
that said, though, I think most people can agree this is her at her most iconic.
Unfortunate soul!
And by God, like I said, this song's still so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's very
Not only is
good.
the music amazing, but every other pose I could see on a heavy metal poster. This whole sequence kicks so much ass.
Yeah.
You know, I never heard anything about...
And honestly, I always loved the design that instead of being like a traditional mermaid, she's like an octopus sort of mermaid thing. Like having like half human, half other sea creatures is really interesting. Her being half octopus or squid, definitely a nice touch.
Divine being an inspiration for the character.
Because, you know, sorry, forgive me for pausing suddenly, but it's because an octopus is known as... They actually, octopi used to have an old name. It's called the devilfish, so how fitting, eh? Alright, I'm done.
We did have a man play the part for us, and sadly he was left off the credits. Max Kirby, since he had been at the very early stages of production, they forgot all about him. He
Really?
Was Rob Minkoff's friend, and we hired him for a weekend, and he came in. Like Sherry, he was very good at improvisation. He inspired, on the whole, I've been a saint to the poor unfortunate souls.
Yeah.
Because that was what we were doing. We were shooting him primarily doing the song.
I see.
I also love how creatively they show her voice being taken. That's
Yeah.
a very abstract idea when you really think about it, but they find a pretty
How it's a
inventive way to
magical
show.
hand that just...
She turns her human, Ariel drowns, and the movie's over.
Nope.
So Philo, how are you? I knew it! Goddammit, you're eating us! You're eating us!
Critic, can you keep it down?
What did he do last
Showing us
time?
his life-size mermaid skeleton.
Okay, why? Why would you just randomly carry the skeleton of a mermaid? Answer me that! Answer me
That is a
that!
very good
You
point.
think I wouldn't?
What?
I need a break from this.
Yeah. Definitely agree. I don't know what he did last time. Maybe I need to watch the Secret of Nim reaction. Or Nim review, I mean. I haven't watched it, so let me know if you guys want me to. But yeah, so far, Doug seems to really like the movie. I mean, I'm glad he does. It's definitely a great film. Even objectively, it's still really good. Like, Ariel's personality, how they made all the characters really iconic looking and behavioral. I didn't notice actually that it's a good mix between, like you said, Snow White and Frozen, where Frozen's more logical and Snow White's more emotional. I don't know why I froze off on that, but overall, I think this is still good all these years later. I don't think it's nostalgia kicking in.
Sebastian and Flounder
Okay,
get
good.
Ariel
No
to
ad.
the surface where Eric's dog finds her.
What's gotten into you, Bella?
Okay, get out of here.
Oh, I see.
Now could you maybe find the king or queen of this kingdom? Who are my folks supposed to be in this? They didn't even come to the wedding!
That's a good point.
Before, though, she can't
We never
explain
even see
who
the
she
king
is.
of this place.
What is it? You can't speak? Then you couldn't be who I thought.
Shame their handwriting isn't the same, so she could write it down.
Yeah.
Didn't she sign her name in English?
Don't worry.
Yeah, she did.
Don't worry, I'll help you.
We had a problem with that hair, too, when she was out of the water, because people forgot, it does dry and settle.
Yeah.
Hangs limp. So
Yep.
a lot of people forgot that, and they still kept the shape.
I think it's a testament to the
wow, that's
animators
something
that
I didn't
even without
notice.
her voice, this is still a hugely expressive character.
Yeah.
Hell, maybe even more so without it. These reactions when she combs her hair with a fork have almost no movement, but the timing, editing, and little that they do animate make it one of the funniest moments in any Disney film.
Yeah.
I am not...
Also, why does that fork only have 3 prongs? Don't forks have 4 prongs, not 3? It's very strange. Again, weird nitpicking detail, but still.
Even kidding, as a kid, I rewound this scene so many times, it started to scratch the tape. Which is weird, all my friends had this scene scratched up for some reason.
Oh, for crying out loud, dog.
There's also
Oh,
some
Les
good comedy
Poissons, I
of
love
Sebastian
that
fighting
song.
off a chef, played by
My
Renee
mom
Auberjonois.
loves to sing it all the time.
Their
Their hands and they pull out the bombs. Oh!
This would definitely get a PG now. Not because it's violent, but just because it, exists.
Oh.
I will clean your chronometers.
Bam.
I don't know what's funnier,
Oh.
this bit of slapstick or suddenly noticing Prince Philip and Princess Aurora as Chef Boyardee noodles.
Oh. Oh, wow. I also love... They should have shown the scene with where he looks at the stuffed crab and just goes... because that was a good one too. Perfect for the PG rating as well.
What the hell is that?
That's a good point.
Ariel gets a tour of Eric's kingdom, again resulting in some charming comedy and more expressive reactions.
Yeah.
We decided to set up a training session between Glenn Keane, Bill Berg, and myself. We each had an hour to train people on how we put the character together.
Right.
A lot of people swallowed hard because they don't like drawing humans. Your audience knows how people should look and behave. They were
Right.
terrified of failing, so we tried to get them over that hurdle by
Yeah, and
having
you can
that
allow
session,
animals to be
using
more
ball
cartoonish and
shapes,
free.
crosshatches and imaginary masks that eventually you'll remove so that the character's head can be tilted around and
Oh, I see.
side to side, and you can actually build the eyes in there, build their eyebrows over the mask.
Interesting. Oh, whoa.
Mermaid
Dang.
drivers. We get another classic song with Sebastian trying to convince Eric to kiss her.
Right.
You dying to try, you wanna kiss again.
You hear something?
Did you hear something?
Despite this couple not having a ton of time together, the time they do have does create some good chemistry. They work well together.
Mildred.
Yeah, this part is pretty good.
Okay, no. Rachel?
Ariel. Her name is Ariel.
Ariel with 2 H's?
Yeah. That was always the thing Man, every time I keep pausing on something funny. These freaking frogs. But yeah, that was always the thing I always confused about with Sebastian. His accent always confused me as a kid of what Ariel was called. 'Cause, like, he didn't say Ariel, he said like Ariel or something, or Ariel. I don't know, it was just something as a kid, it confused me. Anyways, these frogs licking the roof of their mouths are really funny. I'd freak out if frogs did that.
Well, in fact, his birthday is the day after mine. We actually did celebrate
really?
our birthdays a couple of times during production. The Broadway show picked up a lot of the things we had to drop for the movie, including the fact that Ariel was Ursula's niece. A lot of the songs
really?
they were considering, Daddy's Little Angel, ended up in the Broadway show.
Handle.
Boat tips over, though, as Ursula realizes she has to take matters into her own hands.
Yep.
She uses Ariel's voice
Actually,
to
she
transform
said
herself,
matters into her own
resulting in a
tentacles,
pretty
which I
creepy
think
little
is
scene.
worse. Yeah, this part where she uses her voice to hypnotize Eric.
Oh God!
Scary.
I suddenly think the sequels are good now. A twin sister, of course.
Oh,
Ursula
no.
had that. Eric is hypnotized to marry the doppelganger, saying she was the one who saved him, thus breaking Ariel's heart. And I'll just say it: as a kid, I thought evil Ariel was a little hotter. Seriously, I can see why this minister got a hard on. Oh, that's not in this version.
Oh.
I see you can build a castle out of them, but this is going too far.
Oh, come on.
That is not what people think it is. That is his knee. My friend Will Finn animated that. The problem I have is they didn't spend enough time showing that he's very diminutive. He's even tinier
Very
than
short.
Ariel. He's actually standing on a platform. His vestments
Yeah, I
go
can
past
see you.
his knees, so it looked to some people like he
Oh,
was
I see
being
now.
aroused, I guess. But I know for a fact that he wouldn't never have done that. Now the
Oh, no, I
phallus
think
on the
it's still a
pants,
good enough change.
that,
Sorry,
that
man.
was really there.
Oh, you said that was actually there.
Don't worry, Ariel. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Sorry, I couldn't finish it.
So sick of these
Scuttle sees
ads.
that's Ursula in disguise and lets our heroes know. They swim to the ship while Scuttle gets an army ready to attack.
Yeah.
Were there no sharks he could ask to help? Oh, right, they were helping sink another ship.
Yeah.
The scene is pretty funny.
Plus,
and you
dolphins are
could
assholes to
argue
begin
started
with.
the Disney tradition of funny climax first, serious climax second.
Yeah.
Aw, she comes with a voice. Deals off. I'm not on board for that. They're too late, though, as she's turned back into a mermaid, which always made me wonder, where'd the underwear go? Is it just inside the tail now? Okay, I'm
Okay,
not too hard
stop.
about this.
Stop,
Not my
dog.
way.
I think it's under
And
the
King
dress.
Triton comes to save her.
We made a deal.
You will please be unconscious. Oh, and it looks like the contract is literally unbreakable. This is how Disney lawyers think actual reality works. And he hands over his life for hers.
Monster!
Contract annulled.
Ow.
How the hell did he throw that so fast underwater?
True.
I'd be like,
And how did he get that far down? The editing.
Eric gets caught, but Ariel saves him again, resulting in Ursula altering her shape.
Yeah. This
Oh,
scene.
Eric, you are happy to see me. I mean, oh no!
Come on.
I'll admit, I usually see villains turning big as kind of lame. Like, it doesn't
Like
seem
Bowser?
that creative, but this climax is pretty epic. I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe because it's a person and a squid and she's using magic, they
Yeah, so
added
like a
a few
sea
things
monster.
to make this feel appropriately unique and badass.
And how it
Brings
ends
up
is even.
the ship from
I
Frozen.
know Doug
guess.
loves
I
it.
can't remember the conspiracy theories. And Eric climbs aboard, finally
for
for
it,
once,
and
saving her.
ooh.
Yeah, the scoreboard's a little bit in her favor, buddy.
Yeah. Got shish
Shouts,
kebabs.
Hail, Ariel, the wicked witch is dead. And seeing how Eric saved her, Triton finally sees that humans aren't evil and turns her into a human to be with Eric.
It's
They
weird that
get
he just
married
has
with
that
Ariel doing her
power.
best impression of the dog. Yeah, I never knew it was up with that face. And it looks like the chef has unfinished business with Sebastian.
Yeah.
Hey, where'd all the people on the ship go?
That's a
And
good
maybe
point.
They were like, look, we showed up for half a wedding for half an Ariel. We're only staying for half on this one.
Yeah.
Your Majesty, would you care to join us in eating your slaughtered brethren?
Yeah. That's a very good point.
Enough with the singing already.
And that was The Little Mermaid. It has a few flaws, but overall, I think it really holds up.
Yeah.
I personally like other Disney animated films better, but man, did this get the ball rolling for a lot of future masterpieces
Yeah.
to get made. And more than raised the bar for what was expected from Disney and animated films in general. The few problems it has are more than overshadowed by what works about it.
Yeah.
The characters, the visuals, the music. This really was a game changer after a long slog of underwhelming material from the masters of animation.
We actually had more time to make Secret of NIMH than we got on Mermaid.
Really?
Most people had to get it done in 18 months, which is a year and a half, and that was unheard of. Disney had always given his artists 3 and 4 years to make a movie, and
Dang.
that's really what it took. They didn't have the
4
tools that
years?
we have now. Videotape machines to tape our own
mean, I
video
know
tests, the
drawing
advent
takes a
of
long
the
time, but
computer
dang.
tools that we use. That made it a little easier, but they had to hire on an awful lot more people. We were spending morning, noon, and night in there.
Oh.
They were feeding us meals.
Sounds like
to
hell.
keep us there, and the overtime was great.
This put Disney
I'd
back
say
on
it's-
the map
was
and
worth
got
it for you
everyone
guys, hopefully.
rethinking how to tell an animated fairy tale. An art that's evolved even more since then, and hopefully will continue to evolve.
Yeah.
And not de-evolve. Is
Yeah.
it the original story? No. Is it the most complex of the Disney movies?
No.
But there is an admirable simplicity that's clearly trying to grow and find its footing.
Yeah.
We also knew that if we didn't meet this mandate of the studios, that they would shut down the department. And that was the foundation of the studio to begin with. That was worth preserving, so we worked extra hard. We
I
also
see.
knew that it was probably going to be a hit because it was bringing back the traditional type of movie they always were successful at. It could have been the end, and instead it opened the pathway for all the other great movies that came along after.
What else can you say? But there's a reason both children and adults still watch this film over 30 years later.
Flounder's face.
And a big thank you once again to Philo Barnhart.
You said it, Philo. You are so much nicer than Studio
Yeah,
Philo.
here comes the
Thanks
twist.
for not eating us, man.
Well, actually, I am.
What?
No, really, that saliva I spat on you is full of venom, and this is all a shared hallucination.
What? Oh no. Doug. Doug. Oh man.
Ain't I a stinker?
Yes, you are.
Now that's comedy.
Indeed. I actually did not know that Ariel was also Slappy Squirrel.
It's sis.
Alright. I would... No, I'll let this play. Out of respect.
Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month, so for cameos for charity, we're doing the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. This is the world's leader in the search for a cure for cystic fibrosis and supports a broad range of research initiatives to tackle the disease from all angles. So if you want a cameo from me saying happy birthday, good luck, or whatever, click on the link in the description and be giving to a good cause. If
Gotcha.
you're like your face is ass and I hate you, well,
I love that
consider
he-
giving to this charity anyway, because it's full of good people doing great work. Check them out and see what you can do to help out.
Alright, I'll probably take a look at that. Yeah, my hair's all messed up. Let me fix that. But yeah, right, well I guess it's safe to say that this thing is still as timeless as ever, and that's great to hear. Yeah, I can agree with Doug on a lot of the flaws that it had, but honestly I learned a lot of interesting facts about this movie that was pretty cool, like how the face designs are based off of anime actually, and how they chose to make more expressive characters. And I also now realize that fun dynamic between like emotional appeal and logical appeal, where Frozen was the more logical and Snow White was used as the more emotional. Which actually makes a lot more sense for some films now, that like it gives you what the emotion wants versus what actually makes more sense. And again, I used to think that was like more of an anti-Disney trope, which I mean it still is, but now that I have a term for it, I thank Doug for telling me that. And again, a lot of the interesting like things about this movie. I'm just running out of stuff to say every night. Point is, I really like this film. I'm glad it still holds up today, and honestly, it's my family's favorite film. It's my little sister's favorite film. It's my mom's favorite film. So, yeah, we're all pro Little Mermaid, yes. So maybe that hurts us extra much that this newer one is gonna come out and try to ruin everything and only sap what little nostalgia from. How did Doug phrase it? Nostalgia's withering tit, I think is what he said. So, yeah, pretty creative thing. It was his words, not mine. But with that being said, I hope you guys liked the reaction. I sure liked this. If you want me to watch more Nostalgia Critic, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be continuing it. I'll be trying to continue it on a regular basis, or at least whenever. I will not be doing the Cartoon Network bumper one because I didn't think that one would have worked out as well, which is a shame. Plus, someone already showed me it upsettingly, so sorry about that. But overall, I'll still be continuing. If he does another one with the more modern Cartoon Network bumpers, I will definitely do that one, because that one hits me a lot closer to home than the others do anyway, so hopefully he does that. I'm really excited if he does. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!